We did release our computer museum episode.
Yes. Yeah, people, a lot of positive energy on that one.
If you haven't seen it yet, we many months ago, we shot a bunch of things around the same time, around February and early March. We did 2 videos, one that's now out, where we toured an enormous warehouse of legacy computer equipment that's owned by the Rhode Island Computer Museum. These guys who work there, who are fans of ours, wanted to show it to us. And it was kind of they had IBM mainframes and all this amazing stuff. And then we went over to their museum, which I still have to edit. I actually went to the Learning Lab, which was cool too. They had the only PDP-9 in existence that's functioning. But around that same time, we did some unboxings. We did like the Cabot Box Mac. We did the Wrestling Box Mac, which is a huge project.
To the arena, and John Hunt is in the building. He's currently taking it to Frankie Frame, and the arena has come unglued for the return of John Hunt. Back is back.
Between that and keeping up on clips and everything, it took like 4 months to get to this video, and then to edit it, and then to release it. It was like really challenging for me. And it's been interesting because people have been like, well, you know, don't you have editors now? And so shouldn't that free you up for this sort of thing? And a weird thing has happened that I didn't anticipate, which is the slobs are amazing. Like, they're way better than I expected, like than I ever could have dreamed. You know, between people helping with weird VHS releases, and then we've got like our friend Dream Prophet there does like amazing Photoshops, and then you've got Zach, Trevor, Jason, Dan, and Todd, who put out like amazing clips all the time, totally get us. And yeah, and we went through like a cool like orientation period where, you know, I was heavy on notes, and then after that they've been really smooth. But people are like, shouldn't that free you up? Well, here's the problem. First of all, we have too few slobs. So there's more clips than there are slobs.
Yeah. So Frankie and I will do clips too.
Yeah. And I tend to do the most difficult ones, the ones that are like, that require the most nuance or finesse. With the exception of Dan Olson Folding Ideas one. Zach did that, and he oh my God.
That's amazing.
The verisimilitude of Dan's Doug dissection and bespoke analysis was perfectly suited for the thinking YouTube audience.
And I started applying to grad school and then I went to Emerson after that. It's almost like as much effort that was put into the Folding Ideas video. It's like,
yeah, he ordered like projectors and audio tape cassettes and like recreate. Oh, it's incredible. He took a topic I didn't want to discuss really, and just elevated it beyond my.
I really didn't want to do this video.
RGT's been hitting him out of the park lately. Every time he puts up a video, I don't want to make this video.
You know, I wasn't gonna make this video. So originally this was not going to be today's video. All right, so I wasn't gonna make this video.
It begs the existential question: when does one want to make this video?
At least when does RGT want to?
Yeah, never.
Never.
Like were it not for sheer impulse control, he would never make videos.
He always needs to react.
The Computer Warehouse, it performed quite well for what it is, for not being a podcast clip. The positivity was overwhelming. People were so cool. It was one of those, you know, it felt like a success of a video. But I was nervous uploading it because I hadn't uploaded to that channel in a little while. And, you know, I don't know, you could, I guess the audience, especially like if there's like a lot of crossover audience with the podcast, I guess they could be like, I didn't really like you just walking around with old guys talking about computers I've never heard of, you know? But it didn't, you know, in typical Red Cow form, there was a lot of nice commentary about like, I don't even know what half the shit is, but it sure was interesting.
Yeah. People are like, I could watch you guys just walk around anything that you enjoy. Yeah.
review trash bags and stuff.
I think, Frankie, we have our clear winner.
Glad.
Did that win last time? I don't remember.
Yes.
I'm probably going to go with the Force Flex because honestly, I'm not really going to put many cinder blocks in my trash bags. And the puncture resistance is very important.
The Computer Museum donates or lends to film productions all the time. So there's like Severance, Halt and Catch Fire, Joy, Hidden Figures. And I was able to find the technology that he was referring to, thank God, and clip it in. So I think that helped like color it a lot. But
yeah, people really appreciated that. And I think it really helped the video a lot.
Yeah. But when it first went up, within like the first hour, So I think it got to something like 2,000 views in the first day and like 4,000 in a couple of days. Which again, you know, like we went for a long time where like a Box Mac and EJ reviews, a Junt's Cart, like you're looking at like 1,000 in a day, and then it kind of is diminishing returns after that. That's what it was for years. I'm still like not used to the podcast. Like the podcast clips tend to get 3 to 5 within like a day normally, and I'm not. To me, that's like a massive success compared to what we went through for years.
To the point where we talk about House of the Dragon, it gets 1,000. We're like, what the fuck's happening?
Like, nobody cares what I think of House of the Dragon. I'll never talk about it again.
Rhaenyra,
of course. It's like Cletus's kids. Like, there's too many of them. There was like a brief, like first hour of negativity that like had me kind of bumming, where, or at least like it landed me in a headspace where I was like, fucking, well, cause I think it's sort of like, if you just ran a marathon and there's some guy at the finish line that's like, geez, that was slow, or geez, you're sweaty, or, you know, or something, you'd be like, oh my God, I just ran the marathon. Like, fuck off, you know, where like you put, cause to like get a video like this finished, there's like, you have to, I end up cutting into my sleep is how I get it done. You know, that's the only place that I can borrow time.
Why don't you have time anymore?
But like in the first hour, it was like, wow, only 130 views in the first hour. I posted it at 6 a.m. Like this channel's really fallen off. It's like one of the first guys. Then somebody's like, hey, this is great, but why the jackets? How long ago was this shot? There's another one. It was like, what's with the jackets? How long ago was this shot? And then it was like, you know, and in a few months, like nobody will ever like ask these temporal questions anymore. Or it was like, oh, I've been waiting a year to see this. Like you mentioned this forever ago, and or then it's like, hey, I love this video. Can you make tons of these? Or like Ray reached out and he was like, oh, by the way, if you want to do like a Pewter Smith, like a monthly Pewter Smith at the lab, we could do that. I'm like, oh my God, like I'm overcoming the effort of getting this one done. And it just, I don't know. There's like a little bit of existential dread in like putting in that kind of juice to get the thing done. And then for it, like for the fuel in the tank to drop almost immediately, or like, oh, it's like not enough. You should have been making more. You should have done this faster. Why are you all wearing jackets? You know, like, oh my God, leave me alone.
It's like, hey, the podcast ain't that bad.
Oh, Lordy. Yeah. And sometimes people, you know, they'll wonder, like, I think for a James and Mike Monday or something, they were, or maybe it was for Neighbor Nerds or something. It was clear that they had shot a bunch of stuff in the same day and they had changed clothes. And they're like, why would they change clothes, those idiots? And I was like, it's so that you don't fucking
comment,
make hay about the fact that this was shot in one day. It's to shut you up.
To shut you up.
Whenever I mention negative feedback of any kind, people are like, just don't read it. Just don't. But it's like, well, that's not really practical. The reason we make this stuff is to connect with people, right?
Yeah. It's like if you went on stage and did a play and everyone was booing and you're just like, I got to ignore that.
Yeah. And you left in the backstage and like went to a getaway car and just like never even interacted with anybody. Like, wait, why were you in the play? Anyway, but it was a great success. And it's lovely to hear that people want more videos. There's also the element too of I'm like, I actually get comments. They're like, I swear to God, you must see them too. People are like, you should really have John Hunt in more of your videos. He's great. I'm like, yeah. For 10 years, I did nothing but film and edit him. There's a lot of John for you to watch. Sometimes they don't know that, and they just need to be told. Other times they're like, yeah, I know, I watched it all. Like, well, leave me alone. Did know what was involved in making those videos?
Believe me, I travel a long way to film John Hunt.
Yeah. And then 7 years later, I got to reformat them all in native 4x3. Anyway, but it was very, very nice. And next video will be the museum itself. And then there is still a Box Mac we shot all the way back then that needs to be edited. Wow. And then I'm thinking I'd like to get some, maybe one or two RIP restaurants and retails. We haven't done those in a while. But
oh, yeah.
They're kind of easy. And maybe Maybe even a slob or two could do those. But we do need more slobs. We actually, so if you want to be part of like a cool community of good editors who we're always in contact with each other and we have a lot of fun making stuff together, maybe you could be a slob.
You could.
Maybe.
You gotta find each missing piece and tape this in. That's what I mean. You go to a movie, you see this. You don't pay to see that. What the fuck is supposed to occur here?
You got to be able to edit on Premiere. That's none of this Vegas Final Cut Pro shit. Dan is retired. Dan's going to make his, he's going to release this big N64 clip someday, and then he's going to retire. So we're going to be down a slob. I feel like Jason Graves. We're not going to have Jason Graves forever, right? I mean,
he's a celebrity.
He's taken off.
Oh yeah.
So it's.
Oh, I just got his. He got a top loader NES. He just sent it to me. I just got it today, and I'm gonna modify it for composite. So it's gonna be a pretty fun project. I'm gonna film it and make it a video. So
I was jealous because I have a top loader and I've always wanted it modded, and I was like, why didn't I ask? If EJ's gonna make content, why didn't I ask?
Just send it to me.
Ooh, maybe I will. If you're willing.
Just send it to me. Shit, I'll add it to the video.
Subscribe to Red Cow Entertainment on Patreon for full episodes every other week.